I've lost you.
You haven't lost me, Han. I will be here for you more than ever. I had to make this decision, don't you understand? I'm talking about the future. It has to be better than this evil we are going through, and I want to be a part of it.
I don't see any future, and I will never be anybody's slave, ever. I'd rather die.
No. You want to live. We're all going to live, to fight for a world filled with love instead of hatred. I'm sorry.
Fiat voluntas tua, sicut in cielo et in terra.
They blew up the bridge! The Russians are arriving! The Nazis are running away! They are retreating! Poland is free! Poland is saved! We're saved! Poland is free!
What are you doing here? Come on, we have to go. Hans.
Come on.
Come.
Come, Almighty Creator. I will beat the ground others walk on to reach the place you'll lead them to.
Документы.
Welcome. Julian Kordek, right? They told me something about you that seems impossible for a Pole.
That you don't hate Russians? I spent my best years at Moscow University.
Yet, that you are not a Catholic. Tell me, is that a joke or just some trick to further your career?
An even bigger joke would be if our socialist revolution gave Catholics free reign, don't you think?
Is that a good reason why this should become your desk?
This is a list of the Polish clergy. The Nazis wiped out a third of them. But there are many left. Many. I won't give them time to breathe, act, or think. The day will come when they won't have time to dream of their God.
I'm a young face jutting from the Tatra rocks. May a field of rye grow from my youth, cradled in yearning and pain. Let the happiness magnify you, great mystery.
Will you be the goalkeeper, please? All right. I would like to play too. Thank you.
Believe me, you won't save the next one. Not even if you beg for help.
Huh? You wanna bet?
Father Karol! The Secret Service!
Over here?
I saw them in the church!
What's going on? Monsieur Kurowski, you can't arrest him. What you're doing is totally illegal inside the church.
You want to join us?
That's all right, Karol. Let them do their duty.
What's he been accused of?
What's your name?
Wojtyła.
Your Monsignor preaches subversion. He betrayed his country, which is also my country and your country.
Monsignor Kurowski has only spoken about sacred things in this church.
This is the last thing your priest will see, before he realizes that the life he dedicated to sacred things has been nothing but an illusion. It's awful being placed in front of nothingness, isn't it, young priest?
What you call nothingness, I call everything. Where you see darkness, I see light. When you say destruction, I say salvation.
Goodbye, Wojtyła. What did you say your first name was again?
Karol.
Karol. And don't you forget my name. Julian Kordek.
You're in the second mass?
No, the third. Pavel is so happy. But we are already afraid we'll spoil this little thing with too much love.
Too much love will only make your child a joyful and gifted person.
What's this I hear about Lublin?
They shut down the faculties of theology around the country. They set one up in Warsaw, but it's a sham controlled by the government. Only Lublin is still independent.
Archbishop Bazek said to me, I've decided to send you to teach ethics.
And what did you answer?
That I'd rather be a priest among people here.
So what did he say?
You're going to Lublin.
So you have to leave Krakow.
Actually, I get to do both.
How are you going to manage?
It's only 200 miles from Krakow to Lublin. That's 8 hours. I can travel at night.
You're putting a lot of faith in our railroad system.
Where are you going?
My husband is a reporter here. Can you let us in?
Go. Go!
What are you doing?
You have no right to do this.
Then file a complaint. We have orders.
We ask for respect. Our lives are in these papers.
What right do they have to do this?
Their excuse is that we refuse to publish Stalin's death eulogy.
Don't touch this.
Pavel!
On your knees! On your knees! Are you going to kill him? Over a typewriter.
He made a mistake. Don't make a big one.
Take everything away. And grab the paperwork too.
Are you crazy? You're going to get yourself killed for a stupid typewriter.
It's our living and my only freedom. Thank you. You do know how important the father is for a newborn baby, don't you?
You'd better never let me catch you together again. I'll toss the bunch of you in jail.
What's next? You going to cut out our vocal cords?
If that's what it takes, why not? What methods did Christians use to convert the American Indians?
Non-Christian methods, which the church has to ask forgiveness for.
So we meet again. It's Karol Wojtyła, right? Modern man can expect only one important thing from a priest. Christ. He can ask for the rest. Things that are useful from an economic, social, and political standpoint from many others.
The priest is a unique observer of the invisible in the world.
You're a good writer, Wojtyla.
I was. But from the looks of things here...
Doesn't Christ ever smile at man?
Christ is love. We could eventually ask ourselves why this love is nailed to the cross, though.
This office has been requisitioned. As for your magazine...
To all the Polish clergy, priests are being sentenced to death. They arrested the Bishop of Kielce, calling him a criminal. We cannot allow our country's government to trample the altar.
Security police, open up. They're here to see Cardinal Wyszynski.
I'm not asking you to get yourselves thrown into prison and killed. But there can be no compromise. You must resist.
Well?
They won't open up. Should we break it down?
He'll open.
What's going on?
Men from the Ministry of Security.
Let them in.
But Your Eminence, they're going to...
Let them in.
You're under arrest. The government has decided that you can no longer carry out anything related to your duties. You are going to leave Warsaw. Sign this.
I don't see any legal grounds for such a decision, so I cannot sign this. All the government has left is violence.
The blind children of Radvonica. You led them during the resistance. They were the only ones who could make their way through the forest at night. I was one of the patriots they saved. I have great respect for everything you did against the Nazis. But now, you're fighting against the power of the people. Hiding criminal priests convicted by the courts for their crimes. Your position is pro-Vatican, pro-imperialist, and anti-Polish.
I am the same person I have always been, defending our nation's Christian soul, its spirit of freedom, peace, and justice.
Collect your things and follow us.
I'm ready.
Aren't you going to take anything with you?
I came poor to this house, and poor I shall leave it.
Take care.
I'm so sorry. Don't worry, the dog is healthy. Sister Maxentia, could you get us some tincture of iodine, please?
No. Let's go.
Karol, thank God you haven't left yet.
What's the matter?
Papa and I are leaving. We are getting out of here.
Where are you going? How are you going to cross the border?
In the false bottom of a truck. We're going to France and from there on to New York. Pavel has a cousin in Brooklyn.
When?
Tonight.
Do you realize what you're letting yourself in for? And in your condition?
Karol, we are starving here. We are living on charity. We don't sleep at night listening to every sound, afraid that they are coming to arrest Pavel. Or worse yet, that they just make him disappear. Everyone seems like an informer. There are so many of them, they've completely isolated us. I don't want my child born in this horror. I won't have it.
I will miss you. I will miss you both. I will miss watching you act.
You remember our underground theater? And Wadowice? The school. Friends.
How could I forget? Your child deserves this smile for the rest of his life.
2 living smiles among the dead. We are the only ones left. Yusek fell on a mine in Monte Cassino.
I know. Jerzy is dead too. I couldn't find out where he died and how and if he was buried.
I don't want to leave Poland. Oh. I'm Polish and my child...
You will always be Polish, wherever you go. Sit down. You'll always be Polish. And so will your child. Only the sky above you will change, nothing else. I was supposed to put this into a drawer, but I forgot. Please take it.
I don't want it.
Who knows why they pay me every month? They're curious, even punctual about it. And I'll be getting a professor's pay at a university, so don't worry about me. Change it to dollars. It won't be a lot, but still.
I don't want it.
I know you just said that. Listen, you can pay me back later. You're like a sister to me.
Comrades?
Comrade Kordek. He runs the 5th Department, Church and Religion. The most thankless job in Poland. Comrade Stalin used to say that introducing communism into Poland is like training a cow to wear a saddle.
He also said if only we could have that Wyszynski on our side.
Wyszynski is a great man, but he'll never be on our side. He's fine right where he is. I want you to shut down the University of Lublin. We don't want any other Wyszynski springing up in Poland.
I don't think that's a good idea. We have to give the impression abroad that religious and philosophical pluralism exist in Poland.
There are new teachers now. Young, well-qualified, dangerous.
Such as?
Such as a certain Wojtyła, a young priest. This man should not be allowed to teach young people to have no fear. We need fear to accomplish our goal. It will be right in the eyes of history. And even in God's eyes, if he exists.
The University of Lublin will remain open.
Adam.
Comrade?
Karol with you. He holds the chair of ethics at the University of Lublin. And he's a priest here in Krakow, taking care of young people. I want to know everything about him. Who he meets, what he says, what he thinks. Everything. Even when he goes to the toilet. Adam, did you apply to our department out of ideology or to further your career?
Why do you ask?
I find it strange that someone studying art history should hate religion so much.
The art I love celebrates man, not God. God is superstition and obscurantism.
So, you're pure at heart.
What about you?
I try to be.
Ticket, please. Please. Thank you.
I see some new faces today. What's your name?
Janina Kuroń. I'm from Lublin.
And what's your name?
Marcin Mickiewicz from Kielce.
Oh, that's quite a name to live up to. And you?
Maria Pomarska from Poznan.
And you?
Well, sorry. Actually, I signed up for art history.
Oh, you're welcome too. What's your name?
Adam. Adam Jelinski.
Join us if you like, Adam.
Art can be the master of morals, and not the opposite.
Good. Why don't we start with a question? Who wants to go first? Yes?
Why do some...
No, sit down.
Why do some men act like wild beasts while others become heroes? What makes some men betray their friends and others sacrifice their lives for people they don't even know?
And who can answer that?
People are bad because they are scared and unhappy. And because of this, they can be driven to violence and self-destruction.
Now, there's an interesting subject. Happiness and unhappiness deep down inside of each one of us. Descartes. Man is in the middle between God and nothingness. And he must choose.
We have to teach a philosophical concept based essentially on a human experience rather than a cosmological one, more like what 2 and 2 are worth. And the worker says it isn't worth a lot.
That's the political dragon. That sounds like a philosophical pastime.
And yet it's food for thought. Let's have the food.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's my fault. I'm always walking around in my head in the clouds. Oh, it's you. Art history?
Well, art history would like to buy something to drink. What do you say?
Why not?
I'm doing my doctorate thesis on Piotr Michałowski.
I have no idea who he is.
He's a very famous painter.
And I'm famously ignorant.
Before dying, he painted several pictures of Don Quixote in a frenzy. Mad, strong, desperate. Maria?
Yes?
Am I boring you?
No, not at all.
There are many things we must discuss. The young need positive answers. Now, immediately. The communists promise young people a new...
Communists promise young people a new, fair, and better society. Young people are pure. They want to believe that an ideal world is possible. But we don't promise them heaven on earth.
Am I boring you?
Huh?
What are you looking at?
Sorry. Where do you live?
In Krakow with my aunt.
Oh, that's fantastic. I live in Krakow, too. Is that destiny or what?
Who knows? Destiny's very mysterious. But it always finds its way.
We have to meet Marxism.
We have to meet Marxism on its own terms. The freeing of mankind.
There will be 7 of us going into working-class neighborhoods without churches. And we'll visit any family that needs us.
Good. You've made an admirable decision. But it might be dangerous. Just make sure you are not followed, okay? And Adam, too?
No, not him. He seems a little reluctant.
Adam lives in his world of art. You like Adam, don't you?
I think so.
And he likes you?
I don't know.
How could he not like you? He's an aesthete. He probably likes you to death. At the end of our course, I would like to organize a trip to the mountains with the students.
That's a great idea.
We'll go to the Tatras. Oh, a premise for your thesis. The moral value of honesty and courage.
I like it. Adam! Adam.
If you're drunk and beat your wife, you can't blame others. It's the loss of self-respect that causes you to harm a person so dear to you.
There's no help, no hope for me, Father.
If that were true, you wouldn't be here.
Believe me, I tried so many times to make amends.
Despite disappointments, you must find love within you. It's the only strength that can change you. The evil of our times consists in a sort of degradation of the human being. Sometimes planned by ideologies or by political or economical systems.
There's been an avalanche 2 kilometers up the track. They are going to stop here.
We have to oppose them by reconstructing the sacred value of man. I'm late. The train from Krakow.
Oh, right. That's why Wojtyła isn't here yet. They all went to get something to eat. Not me, though. I'm sweating the test. I didn't go to classes. I work in Poznan, but I'm trying to study. What's this Wojtyła like? He's a priest, too, right?
Yes.
Is he mean?
Mean? Worse. He's a tyrant. A real tyrant.
Oh, my God. Are you well prepared?
More or less.
Could you explain Max Scheller's polemic against technological society to me?
He opposes the rationalists, who believe that we are able to dominate nature and man.
And?
And for him, the only trust in the world comes from love.
So you're from Poznan too?
Right, yeah. So, I found a classmate of ours who knows his stuff, and he really helped me.
Who is he?
Where did he go?
Witold Brożek.
God help me.
Good luck.
Give me your grade book, Witold.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that.
Your grade book. Witold is a student worker. I already tested him. I gave you a good grade. Keep on studying.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Your wings.
You're a poet.
No, not at all. I only know 3 verses of a poem by heart. It's Turkish.
A Turkish poem? In Turkish?
We have yet to sail the most beautiful of seas. We have yet to live the most beautiful of days. And I have yet to tell you the most beautiful things I want to say to you.
Don't look at me like that. I get embarrassed. Come on, we're late. We're late.
There is nothing more mysterious and unknown than love. We all have a deep, desperate need of absolute love. And the difference between how we perceive it and how badly we actually live it is a terrible thing. Well, love's not something that can be taught. And yet it's absolutely vital to learn about it. One thing's for sure. Love and sexuality are the most exciting link between mind and nature. But love is also a responsibility. When a man and a woman are united by real love, one takes on the other's destiny and future, as if it were their own. And that can mean a lot of strain and suffering, but that's the only serious way to love. And not by making a game out of it. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Go in peace. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
I'm having trouble with this.
What do you mean?
I can believe in the Father and the Son, but the Holy Ghost, I have a problem with that.
No, Karol. Where have you been all these years?
I work in the Cegielski factory in Poznan now.
How are things going?
Badly. I mean, just fine.
Which is it?
Both. Badly because this regime is an insult to socialism. And the people are starving. And fine because I still feel strong and ready to fight. And you know what? I am in love.
You're in love? That's great news. Who is she?
Her name is Magda. She has blue eyes. Beautiful. She's a widow.
Are you getting married?
She doesn't want to. She has a small child. We see each other secretly.
Give her time. And take it easy on the beer, okay?
Poland is a slave state. The Russians now run the army and the government. They're bleeding us dry. All their projects are failing. They're turning us into paupers, Karol. We're going to take to the streets of Poznan and let them know how angry we are.
What good will that do?
You're on the government side?
I'm just afraid of the consequences. I don't want to cry for martyrs anymore.
Don't worry. They're not going to start shooting at us. We are the proletariat.
Good work. But he doesn't give anything away. He probably figures we're listening in.
I don't think so. I've provoked him 1,000 times. We take the train together, almost every time. And he's never uttered one word against the socialist government of this country. He's not interested in politics. Perhaps, and I say this with all due respect, comrade, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong, Zielinski. I want this man. And you're going to give me the means to do it. Is that clear?
Are you telling me that I have to make things up?
So what if I am? What if I did?
Then I would make some things up.
Who's in charge of the UB in Poznan?
Comrade Maciek.
Tell him I want to talk to him. You can go now.
Radio Free Europe. Today, June 28th at 4 p.m., the 2nd Army Corps has entered Poznan. The strike began early this morning at 6 a.m. As as workers left the Sigelski factory, marching towards the center of the city. As time passed, workers from other factories joined the dissenters, together with passers-by and residents of the city.
Are you Novak?
Yes, I am. And who might you be, comrade? I don't think we have been introduced.
I'm Piotr. My mom said I could come here only if I stayed close to you.
Ah, so you are Piotr, Magna's son.
I'm glad she fell in love with you. It's no fun seeing your own mother so sad and lonely.
Your mother's a strong and beautiful woman. And she's lucky to have a son like you. Take this.
Groups of demonstrators headed for the Unified Workers' Party headquarters. Others went along Malinsky Street towards the central prison and beyond to the Office of Public Security. At 10:15 a.m., a group of dissenters entered the regional courthouse and the county attorney's office.
The demonstration must disperse immediately. Move out. Leave the premises or we will use force.
Go back home. Go on.
I'm staying with you.
I told you to get out of here.
Free Poland!
The number of workers killed, it seems, has reached 100, plus several hundred wounded.
My father works there. I'm sure he was with the strikers.
What's your father's name?
Ignacy.
Hello? It's Wojtyła. Call Monsignor Górka, St. Peter and Paul's in Poznań. See what you can find out about Ignacy Pomorski. And check on Maciej Nowak and Witold Brożek too. Yes. Thank you.
We'll know shortly.
I know where we can find some guns!
Quiet! Quiet! Sit down.
You know, during the Nazi period, I happened to find myself next to the wisest man I had ever met. We were in a dark room, hanging on between life and death. And this wise man wasn't a philosopher. He was a tailor. And he said to me, "We will win with love, not with guns." And I answered, "How can you say that with the Nazis in our country?" And he said, "The Nazis will disappear because evil devours itself. But if love doesn't win out, the Nazis will just come back under a different name. And now you want to face down tanks with rifles? You want to give your lives? I don't think you should be giving your lives today. You should be showing your love of life instead. A love they don't know about. You have to bear witness to the sacred dignity of every life. Demonstrate peacefully. Show your pain, show your disappointment. Shout out your refusal of violence. Show your love. Show your respect for life." Excuse me.
I have to know.
Wojtyła speaking, yes? He's all right.
He's all right. He's all right. What did they tell you?
A
classmate of yours.
Witold Brożek was killed.
It's hard to forgive a crime like this.
And a friend of mine was wounded. But I repeat, do not provoke them.
That's exactly what they expect you to do.
They won't be afraid of your guns. But they will be afraid of your words.
You look well. 3 years in prison haven't weakened you.
There were 17 of us in my seminary class. 12 of them ended up in a concentration camp. Do you really think I would feel cramped in this lovely place? I could live here until the day I die. I have faith. A strength you know nothing about.
How would you like to go abroad? I don't know. What about Italy or the Riviera?
My place is in my cathedral or in prison.
You can go back to your cathedral. The government has changed. Comrade Gumulka is in power now and thinks that you can take up your duties again.
You fired on the workers. You used tanks against people in Hungary. Is that what communism is?
I think it's intolerable that they ended up firing on workers, even if they were agitators. And what I find even more intolerable is the failure of so many government plans.
Are you saying all this to protect your career?
You can think of me as an enemy, but not as a worm. Whether you like it or not, the two of us are alike. We are believers.
The fact remains that people demonstrating peacefully scare you. You release the head of the Polish church to have an alibi. You're making a very grave mistake. Governments might change and ease up. But I am and always will be against you. Don't think that letting me out will influence my soul in any way.
Nobody wants to buy your soul. We want to achieve communism, carrying it out with all the changes needed, with or without the backing of the church.
How do I manage to be so late all the time?
From the Secretary of the Vatican State to the Primate of Poland, Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski. His Holiness, upon the solicitation of the Archbishop Monsignor Baziak, names Karol Wojtyła Auxiliary Bishop of the city of Krakow. He was singled out for his keen intellect, devotion, and constant dedication, his interior strength and persuasive oratory, his cultivation of philosophy and the social sciences, his following as a teacher, and his influence among the young.